Right guys, Mark Crossfield here in my hands today. I'm hitting Titleist AP1, so they may be the most user-friendly out of the whole Titleist iron range. 716 Titleist AP1 tungsten weighting. We've also got an introduction of new hybrids to align with the iron release. So let's talk about that as well. Let's get stuck in. Right guys, Titleist AP1 from Titleist. We're getting tungsten down here, extra weight in the back and in the toe. They've worked heavily, they're saying, on the shape of it to get it as low and deep into the toe as possible, get CGs low and try and help on MOIs, where they're saying 50% more tungsten on 716 than prior models is what I've read from their marketing. So they're really going for the high MOI on this club. So what that means is they're going to try and maximize the ball distance, the ball speeds off the face across more of the face. So when you're mishitting your shots like I do and everyone does, you won't see massive drop-offs in distance, is the theory, which in theory could help you maybe hit a few more greens. You get an undercut cavity, it's kind of chrome in its look, it's got a little bit of offset, and it's got a medium to chunky line. Now it has MOI clubs, high MOI clubs go, and this one is very high on the MOI scale if you look at it in the charts of all the clubs. I would say this one has to be one of the nicest looking. So if you're looking for a club that's going to be as friendly as can be, but you want it to look a certain way, 716 AP1 I think will tick that box, and the AP range often tends to do that. Now I've got the 6-iron, the 4-iron, I've also got the H1 hybrid, because they've realigned the hybrid launch with the irons on their irons to try and make you buy your irons correctly. So you should be matching your irons, your hybrids, into your woods and your irons, but definitely you can save money on your irons by not buying them all and dropping in a hybrid instead. I mean, I stop at a 5-iron nowadays, so you guys should be thinking about the same ideas. So even though the last hybrid's only been out a year, which is going to upset a few people, I think there's quite a clever idea from Titleist to get the custom fitting, I mean, as good as it can. And that's what I like about Titleist. They are often more about just trying to do it as right as possible than all that jazz, if you know what I mean. So let's give it a hit. It looks really nice down by the ball. This is a game improvement iron I could absolutely game, and anyone who knows me knows I'm not afraid of gaming a game improvement iron. Let's give it a hit. Yeah, I mean, it feels lovely off the face. It does. This iron, I've always considered putting this in the bag. I think AP1 716 they've done really well. I think the looks of it are some of the best I've seen. I think they're saying, and don't quote me Nielsen, but the tungsten weight in them allows them not to make the blade length too massive by moving that weight deep down in there to try and keep the MOI. So as the blade length gets bigger and deeper, the MOI goes up, but they're still trying to keep the looks in a certain position, which I kind of understand and like. Let's give it another hit. I mean, I've seen tour pros using this iron. I've been to many tour ranges and seen these in more players' bags than you'd expect. Let's give it another hit. It's very easy to launch. I could absolutely game AP1. I think they've done really well with that this year. 716, I think prior model was good, but maybe looked a little bigger. This one looks where I'd want it to look, while offering a lot of friendliness. Now look, I've got the 4-iron, which I'll hit only one shot with. I can't hit too many shots with a 4-iron. I don't game a 4-iron anymore. A little bit more offset. You don't almost see the back out the back of the club, but I would be swapping this out for the hybrid down there all day long. But I'm going to give the 4-iron a go anyway, because I like to remember what it feels like to miss a green with a 4-iron. That's not bad. I mean, it's quite high launching for me for a 4-iron, to be honest, and it looks, like I say, pretty nice. I think if you're a strong 4-iron player, there's a good chance you wouldn't be looking at AP1 anyway. So I'm now going to hit and I've got data on this to show you, I'm now going to hit the H1 hybrid. Quite big and chunky. You've got the Shilfet tool neck, which moves the loft around, slightly different I think from last year's model hybrids. Grey top, black face, next to no offset, almost onset this one. And I could game, this reminds me of my lovely rinky dink, so I like this one. I could absolutely game this. And that is a 4-iron flight that you would only, so if this is equivalent to my 4-iron, you know, that's kind of tall player height 4-iron, which I'm not getting from a 4-iron. So I'm really liking the way they're putting these in with those. You've also got their channel here on the bottom as well, which is helping kind of keep the ball speeds up. I will do full reviews on these separate on their own as well. Let's show you the data on these. AP1 plus H1, getting that makes a lot of sense to me. Right guys, numbers time. So 6 iron for me going 171, quite strong. These lofts are stronger. I think I was delivering around 22 degrees of dynamic loft average on these, which is a little bit lower for my 6 iron because they do start a little bit lower. 5.5 spin, which is not too bad on a slightly cranked loft iron. Now, manufacturers hate that word, cranked lofts, because they're going to say they crank the lofts because of the way it's designed. So, because the ball goes higher, otherwise it goes up and doesn't get distance. Yeah, I mean, they all play with lofts. These ones go further for a reason. Lower spin, lower dynamic loft presented. I'm going to get faster ball speeds through that. So work into that how you want to. AP2 4 irons going 186, sorry, which is not too bad. I'd want my 4 iron really going up into the 200 yard mark, kind of between 189, 190 to 200 yards is where I'd want my 4 iron to go. And if you look at the H1, it's interesting, 194, topping out at 199, so that's exactly where I want my 4 iron to be. It's peak heighting at 33 yards compared to 28 with the 4 iron, and that's why I like what Titleist are doing by introducing the hybrids into the set, because that would definitely suit the way I would buy clubs, with the fact that I'm using 2 hybrids in my sets now and dropping the 4 iron out and haven't had a 3 iron for years. So for me, I think you want to be really careful on when you're getting custom fit. Make sure you go to a place which has got the hybrids to allow you to sync them in. I'm really liking AP1 there this year, 716. I think it looks really good. Absolutely could bag that, no problem. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more videos. Find me on Instagram at Crossfield Mark, also on Twitter at 4golfonline. Find me on Facebook, Mark Crossfield. Thanks for watching. Post comments as always, and see you soon.